What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Week 4 edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoney's DFS. And as a reminder, be sure to click the link below to claim up to a $100 first match deposit bonus with PrizePicks. We're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks for FanDuel large field tournaments using the top stacks tool on the Stokastic.com website. Starting at number 3, the Baltimore Ravens are hosting the Buffalo Bills in what is likely to be a high-scoring game. The Ravens have a 24-point implied total. They're 3-point dogs. They're always one of the highest upside stacks on the slate because of Lamar Jackson's rushing upside, in addition to what he can get done in the passing game. Jackson is projected for 7% ownership. This stack has an 11% chance of being the top scoring stack. It is expensive, so you'll need to find value elsewhere, but certainly capable of being the highest scoring stack on the slate relatively frequently. Jackson comes in at $8,800. His receivers, Mark Andrews, or tight end, I should say, Mark Andrews, $8,400, his number one receiving option. And then his number one wide receiver, Rashad Bateman, $6,600, a bit less expensive. So it's a relatively expensive stack, but you're certainly getting what you pay for with these guys. Number 2, on the other side of that game, the Bills visiting the Ravens. They are 3-point favorites with a 27-point implied total. Josh Allen is projected for 16% ownership. The stack has about a 16% chance of being the top scoring stack. Like the Ravens, it is relatively expensive. Josh Allen comes in at $8,900. Stephon Diggs comes in at $8,700. Behind that, we're still waiting on some information. Gabriel Davis is questionable. He's $6,500. If he's out, the rest of the receiving core becomes a bit murkier, but also less expensive. So, you'll be a little bit less comfortable in who you're going with behind Diggs, but you'll also be paying a bit less money. They look like a very high upside stack. The field's going to be there, but they should be. This is just a really, really good spot for both teams. And number 1, the Atlanta Falcons getting a bit less ownership with 5% ownership projected to come to Marcus Mariota. 7% chance of this being the top scoring stack. They have a 23-point implied total. They're 1-point dogs at home against the Cleveland Browns. Mariota is $7,300, so you're getting a little bit of savings off of the quarterbacks like Jackson and Allen. He has a pretty cheap receiving core as well, although a very talented receiving core. Drake London coming in at $6,300, while Kyle Pitts is $6,100, drawing a huge target share in this offense that hasn't really translated to a huge fantasy game yet, but it is likely to happen sooner rather than later. This is a team where, even though they don't have the same chances of success as the more expensive teams like the Ravens and the Bills, if the Falcons do happen to put up a big game, you're going to be able to build very, very strong lineups around them because of the savings that you get within the stack. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks on FanDuel for Week 4 large field tournaments: number 3, the Baltimore Ravens; number 2, the Buffalo Bills; and number 1, the Atlanta Falcons.